Well, I'm so excited. I have Terry Squires from Today's Nashville joining me in the kitchen today. Terry, I'm so glad you came.
Katie, thank you. I am so excited to be here, and I follow your show and your recipes, and they are amazing, and you make them look so easy.
Well, thank you. That is really my goal. I always think if I wouldn't make it with 2 little kids and working from home, I'm so busy, then I'm not going to put it on my website.
Oh, they are so easy. I follow you on Instagram, and I thought, I can do this.
Well, that's what I want. Well, Terry, I'm excited to have you in the kitchen today. Today, we're going to be making a lightened up ranch pasta salad. Do you like pasta salad?
I love everything.
Okay, well, this is perfect for our picnic. And really, this is great because you can make it ahead of time and you can keep it in the fridge for a few days, really, leading up to any kind of barbecue or gathering that you have outside. So I'm gonna start by making the ranch dressing for this, and I'll have you cut up the bacon and the green onions, and then we'll add everything together. It will be absolutely delicious. So we have 6 pieces of bacon, 2 green onions, a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of dill, 1/4 cup of almond milk, 2 cups of peas, a 1/2 cup of cheese, 8 ounces of pasta, as well as 1 cup of Greek yogurt. All right, so Terry, I'm gonna make the ranch dressing. All I do is start with a Greek yogurt base, and that's a really good way to add protein and also creaminess to a dressing. And then you just thin it out with a little bit of milk. So I'm doing a 1/4 cup of almond milk, and then I'll add my seasonings, and this will make it really taste like the ranch that we all know and love, and a little bit healthier for us. So Terry, you have the most amazing testimony just of redemption and what God has done in your life, and I love redemption stories. So tell us a little bit about your story and how you came to know the Lord.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for being on my show. And you have an amazing testimony too, and I can't wait to share it, and it'll be coming up soon. But you know, it's interesting that now I'm being asked about my testimony because I really don't share it that much. But you know, when I was a young girl, we came from a broken family. And our parents both went separate ways, and we ended up in one place. And we weren't really a church-going family either. I knew about Jesus, but we just never attended church. And you know, being from a broken family, you know, it can get a little tough. And I can say that I have 2 older sisters, and I'm a triplet. And we were all on our own by the age of 16 and 17.
Yeah, wow.
So it was a little difficult, but during that time, there was a Bible that stood in the center of our home. It was on a platform, and no one really ever read it, but it stood there. And one day I picked it up, and I started taking it into my room, and I started reading it, and I started finding out about Moses and the Israelites and Jesus, and I'm like, what is this all about? So I started reading the Bible, but I would put it back on the stand, hoping that nobody would notice that maybe the pages were messed up. So I knew that Jesus was pulling me towards him. And I was about 15 then. But situations happened, and at 17 I left home, and my brothers left home too. And I was a senior and they were juniors, even though we were triplets. And I can't imagine them, you know, they went to an apartment, friends helped us, but I really didn't know what I was gonna do. You know, I was a swimmer, and I was kind of a fast swimmer, but I didn't realize I was that fast. But my coach told me I would be able to go to college by swimming. And so I had my last year in high school, didn't have a place to live, didn't have a dime to my name. And my swim coach's family tracked me down and said, we want you to come and stay with us. We'll help you get through your senior year. We'll apply to college. And that's what happened.
Wow.
Just one family. And they all showed me Jesus. And I had friends around me that I would go to church with. But it wasn't until I realized, you know, it just takes one person to see a need in somebody else's life that can change the whole direction of your life. Because I really don't know where I'd be if it weren't for them. And that, you know, it's funny, I have to say, they were really young. when they took me in. They had 3 little girls, and I shared a room with their 3-year-old.
Wow.
And I think they were like in their late 30s. I used to think they were so ancient. I was just like, they're so old. And to this day, I stay in touch with them.
Wow.
And they live in Oregon. And a couple months ago, their daughter, which it was the middle daughter, came to Nashville, and we had lunch. And so it's so amazing what God can do in your life. And so I always say that to people, you just never know what you can do, the impact that we can leave behind just by noticing other people and saying, oh, there's a need there. So they taught me so much. And as I grew into my college years and everything, I still made a lot of mistakes. I really didn't give my life to Jesus until I was in college. And then I really started digging into God's Word. And it's like now, I get to interview people here in Nashville about their faith stories. And God has opened doors for me to write Christian books. So God is so good, isn't He?
He's so good. And that story is just, it really shows how it really just takes one person reaching out to one person. And look at the life that's transformed now. And even now, I'm sure your entire family is impacted by your life being changed. And so it can change generations. And
I have a family now. My sisters, we all follow Jesus now. And, you have to look at your past and let go of some of those things. Because for a while, it was a struggle for me. I held on to resentment and frustration and anger, and I don't want to say hate, but there are people that I was just very angry with. But as I grew, it was just like, I hold no resentment. I have no anger. I've forgiven. And I hope that, I look at myself, and I probably didn't make the, right decisions too. So, but I think forgiveness is a key to move forward to what God is calling you to do.
That's so good. And I think we all need to hear that, because at times, there are times that all of us have to forgive, right? So it's such a powerful reminder of the power of forgiveness.
And I think people can get stuck in their past.
True.
And hang on to that, and they just don't grow. They don't move forward.
Yes. So good. Such good reminders. Well, we're going to put this all together while we continue to chat.
Do you want me to cut these?
Yes, you can cut those into the bowl if you'd like. And I'm gonna just go ahead and add the cooked pasta. And I just cooked it and rinsed it in cold water. That way it is done cooking. If you don't rinse off pasta in cold water, it continues to cook and get a little bit mushy. You don't want mushy pasta for a pasta salad. And then we're gonna add our peas next. And Terry, I can definitely relate to so much of what you said, but just in the fact of like how God can redeem and restore all things no matter what you've been through. As you heard my story when I was a teenager going through eating disorders and the brokenness there, I had to forgive myself of brokenness and the things that I did to myself for so many years, and so I think we can all identify in some way to the pain of our past and also how God can make all things new.
He does. He's such a good Father.
It's true. He is. And so we're going to add the bacon. You can add that on,
In here?
Yep. And you can just sprinkle it right on top just like that. And see, doesn't this already look so good? And then we're going to add our cheese on top last. And then we'll kind of just stir it together. And so this is one of those dishes, honestly, that I think tastes better over time. So when it sits in your fridge, it kind of blends together even more and it tastes really good.